Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is hump day, and we're sitting here 78 days, 4 hours, 2 minutes, and 30 seconds away from kickoff of the 25 season going against the Philadelphia Eagles. And we are knee deep in silly season, okay? There's not much going on. Of course, we heard Albert Breer earlier, or at least a clip of Albert Breer saying the Cowboys could bounce back, but Savon Ravel had a little bit of a setback as far as his recovery from the knee injury, and we can get a little taste of that here.
I mean, the draft itself was one of my favorites.
I really like their draft.
I
think
hate to admit it.
Izaraku has a chance to be a real player. I think Tyler Booker brings like a nastiness and an edge to their offensive line that they were going to need with like losing Zach Martin. You know, I think like Will McClay and their scouting department doesn't get nearly enough credit for the job they've done. Because that's the thing with the Cowboys is like you look over the years, it's like when is talent ever really the issue? You know, like they have some teams that are more talented than others. You know, but when has it ever been like, it's been 20 years since we said like they just don't have the horses. It never seems like that's the problem.
They didn't last
Rebel,
year.
I think, is going to be a beast. Like he
is really interesting, really, really interesting. Now it doesn't always work out. I know it's the easy thing to do, to sometimes pluck the injured guy who, and he had like a little bit of a setback, I think, with his knee, but I think he'll be okay. But yeah, he would have been, fighting to be the first corner taken if he hadn't gotten hurt. So he's another one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you hear this, and that goes, all of a sudden, everybody's up. He's had a setback. Okay. Did he? I don't know. But he thinks he's going to be okay. Here's where you realize it is the silly season because there's nothing really going on. Cam Newton stirring shit up with Dak Prescott. And I saw the headline of this and said, I got to see this. Dak Prescott's last chance in Dallas. And he has an interesting theory here that if Dak fails, the Cowboys are going to be going all in to get Arch Manning. Check it out. Now, it takes a while for him to get there. And it's silly season. You can tell that this is a lot of filler here with not a lot of beef.
Yeah, all right.
Come on.
Let's get in our hot take.
Man, so the hot take of the day is Dak Prescott speaks on legacy in the Super Bowl pressure, all right? So what we have is only Troy Aikman has had a longer tenure as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. But Aikman and Roger Staubach has delivered Super Bowls to Dallas, all right? So Dak made the playoffs 5 times, but has been the MVP runner-up, but hasn't gotten the Cowboys to the NFC Championship game, with the Cowboys sitting at 2-5 in the postseason. Dak is currently 32 and coming off another injury-plagued year. Dak said he's not chasing legacy, just a championship. So at this moment, where does Dak sit? And not only us have a problem with it, but somebody by the name of Shady McCoy is calling Dak out on his performance thus far.
Every time we talk about Dak Prescott, he always gets a pass. I watch y'all on his desk, y'all two, for sure. Dak needs more. Dak needs more. He needs better this. He needs better that. He needs more of this. He needs more than that. And I'm looking at, when I watch the games, right? I watched 2 years in a row you lose to the Niners, right? One of the years you could kind of argue if it was your fault. I thought it was, but whatever. As a quarterback, you pay all this money. You should have better awareness of the clock management. Let's not even argue that one. Cool. But the next year, though, team is loaded with talent on defense and offense. Running back, wide receivers, linemen, a stingy defense, you name it. Guys getting picks, sacks. You lose up there in the playoffs to the Niners, and the reason why y'all lost wasn't because of Micah, wasn't because of the defense, wasn't because of CeeDee Lamb. It was because Dak. Dak lost that game. You know what they said next year? He needs more. He needs more. Cool. In the regular season, everybody wants to brag about this MVP thing, like he won an MVP. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but I don't brag about coming in second place. There's no award for that. There's a lot of guys that get on the MVP voting list and all that as candidates. We don't talk about the third, the second, the fourth. We talk about the winner. He did not win, but he played well. Played so well that he was number 2 in MVP voting, correct?
Yeah.
We get to the playoffs. The youngest inexperienced team in the playoffs that year was the Packers.
Yeah.
Right? We
You
think
can
Jordan.
right there, Peg. I'm ready when you ready.
Well, let's get ready to rumble.
You ready?
We ready.
Are you ready?
You ready for this one?
Fighters ready.
Dallas Cowboys have officially allowed that door of success to end under the reign of Dak Prescott.
Oh, hold on now. You done hit me with an uppercut now, boy. Hold on. So Dak ain't the answer in Dallas?
That door is closing.
Okay.
It's closing.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, Cam, what you mean?
What you mean? Yeah, you got to elaborate on that.
Okay. When I go back and I look at the lineage of the Dallas Cowboys, okay, Dak has had well enough options. When you go back and look at the dynasty, you know, when they went on that 90s run, right? Troy Aikman had Emmitt Smith.
Baller.
Dak had a successful running game with Pollard as well as Ezekiel Elliott.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good Zeke.
One year we had a good year of them.
Bowl of cereal, Zeke.
Zeke the break.
Zeke bowl of cereal was not with Tony Pollard.
Showing
Yeah.
Zeke, not belly, abs.
That's facts.
He also had, Troy Aikman had Michael Irvin.
Okay.
Well, as we talk about the amenities that was on Dak Prescott's resort by way of Dallas, Arlington, Texas, however you want to call it, my boy done had some options.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Go ahead. Let's hear
Now
it.
we go in with the defense. Now this is where it gets real spicy here.
Okay.
Because Troy Aikman only had one lockdown guy that we know of. You know what I'm saying?
Prime time.
Prime. Well, Dak Prescott had Stephon Gilmore.
He had Stephon Gilmore for 1 year,
as Trayvon Diggs.
and Diggs was out that year.
Micah on there too.
What more do you need? So, man,
You need a lot
how
more
would
than
it
just
be
that.
Me or we wouldn't
Stephon
be us
Gilmore
if
is
we
past
ain't
his
keep
prime.
it up.
Keep it a bean.
You dig what I'm saying?
But go on.
I'm saying to myself as I'm getting ready for this, Dallas. You know, I can't even really talk to Dallas. This is a message towards Dak Prescott specifically. This door is closing
32 now.
because if you don't succeed this year, and I mean, this is not even championship or bust.
Yep.
Get yourself together, baby.
on, 'cause
Slow down,
Dallas is messing me up.
I know,
Dallas is messing me
I
up.
know
Hold on.
Jerry don't want me to say it,
Jerry getting scary in here.
but I'm gonna say it.
Talk to me, bud.
Dak Prescott, if you do not perform this year, that door is going to close. And income, drum roll please, Arch Manning.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that.
Sadie, I'm here.
Waiting for you.
Arch Manning. Okay. Arch Manning.
Boy, Dak, man, holla at your man. Listen, you don't succeed this year. You go out with an injury this year, a tweaked hamstring, shoulder. Let me tell you something. Jerry is going to do any and everything to spend everything for Arch Manning.
So let me ask you this then. For all the people that say Cam, you know that's ludicrous.
Man, this is a hot take.
But
and
I'm
I'm
just saying.
making my take spicy.
Spicy.
I guess you could say
Okay.
they with Kirk Cousins, but they would pay this man all this money just to get rid of him.
You worried about the wrong thing, Smokey. That's my issue.
I want to know what kind of cigar that is.
Telling you what the people,
The people won't
what
win.
they don't want to see, or they don't want to say. Dak Prescott, you don't perform this year, big dog. It's over for you in Dallas.
He got everything.
All right, I'm going to leave it right there. See, you heard him. This is the hot take, and we making it spicy. Remember when it was last year, Sador? Remember when it was tank for Trevor or tank for Tua? Or that Trey Lance was going to be the guy? Andy Dalton, if I had $1 for every time this was the last chance for Dak, I'd probably have about $10. Be that as it may, to get Arch Manning, you're going to have to be at least a top 5 pick. You're just going to have to be. Now, there is basically this year, next year, after that, you got an out with Dak. But we'll see. It's the silly time right now. And as always, Dak Prescott drives the news. I mean, you could say, well, Trevor Lawrence, if you don't do something this year, we can move on from you, right? Isn't that the case? Justin Herbert, you got a great coach and everything else. We can move on from you, right? Nuh-uh. Only Dak. As always, I'll see you all later. Peace out.